Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you very much for joining me here today. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick look here at Sand once more. I've been looking at this pretty much daily for my subscribers because I get a lot of requests on it. Figure I'd just kind of get ahead of it just in case because it's making a lot of moves just like other coins very similar to this here. Obviously, LRC and Shiba Inu, Elon, all these coins that are just making dramatic moves in the past week. So that being said, if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor by any means, but I do have over 15 years of trading experience. My goal is to help you become a better, more effective trader. I have a trading community built for that sole purpose to help you improve, but also it's kind of a hybrid. I actually send out signals that are fully automated through Cornix, and it's a really great system. So check that out in your own time. I would recommend sooner than later, just based on the fact that the rates will be increasing in December. You can lock that in November if you decide you want to move forward here soon. Check that out though. Now moving forward here with Sand, let's take a quick look first of all at the 4-hour chart, kind of get perspective here. Just check the basics. We're well above the moving averages. Obviously, the price has increased significantly. We shouldn't have to worry about that for a little while, but they will eventually intersect with the price because we've got to see some sideways action from Sand sometime in the near future. All right, so let's take a quick look at the one-day chart first, just to work our way down. There is, yeah, I mean, as you can tell, in 4 trading days, looking at a little over 200% as an increase. That's pretty significant. So 200% in 4 days. Usually that causes for some type of retracement overall. Granted, it did retrace here previously, so we take a look here. Obviously, we had this increase followed by a decrease, increase, consolidation, increase again, decrease, increase. So it's kind of, I wouldn't say jumping all over the place, but it's definitely bouncing back quickly as soon as it struggles, for lack of better terms. It comes up, comes down, and comes right back up. So that's a good sign, in most cases with a continuation like this. I do also see that we have somewhat of a pattern here as well. And this isn't, foolproof by any means, but generally speaking, you can tell the price is essentially, in an ascending pattern. And commonly what happens is it, works itself into a wedge and will effectively break out. So there's a good chance we might see something like that, or perhaps something along these lines. But I do feel like we're going to see some consolidation a little bit further over the next day or two in the range of somewhere between 240 and 320. So right in that range here, right here, we're going to see some consolidation, hopefully some sideways action to effectively bounce. All right. Now we'll look at Fibonacci here in just a moment, kind of see what's going on. Let's work our way down though first with the 1 hour and kind of see what's going on here. So this does help us identify a couple of things here. First of all, Ichimoku cloud we're well above, and as you can kind of see here, it did work as a support level previously. So it came into the cloud, effectively bounced off the cloud. It was only under for about 4 or 5 hours. Use that support level right here at about 164 and continue to increase. So it's a very good sign there. Because bear in mind, 164 is a one-day candlestick closing point, right? Wherever the one-day candlestick closes, that essentially affirms itself as a pretty strong support level, especially when we only have about 4 days of trading in this range. So just bear that in mind. The one-day candlestick is probably the most effective way to understand support and resistance zones. But for right now, with a little data, looking at the 1 hour chart, we can tell also too that the price, if it were to retrace, it should effectively bounce off the Ichimoku cloud, or it could do something similar to before, work its way down to test the support level here and then break up while the cloud is kind of moving upwards like that. We could see a couple of different scenarios, but generally speaking, the cloud works as a very good strong support level. It also helps us give indication of the fact that whenever it's above, it's considered a buy signal. And when it's below, it's considered typically a sell signal. But in bullish, momentous trends like this, you want to be careful shorting things of this nature when they have a lot of amplitude and a strong social sentiment. That's likely what's factoring in here. So just keep that in mind. Now, moving forward, last thing we want to look at before we take a quick peek at the Fibonacci retracement is TD sequential, just kind of see what's going on here. And we can see previously we went up to about an 8 here, got a nice period of consolidation, and then followed by an increase. Now we're consolidating right now, and we're at about a 3. So there's potential. Again, this isn't foolproof, but there's potential if it continues to the upside. We might see about 6 more hours worth of continuation. It could very well happen. Now there is a bit more of a resistance than previously. So these candlestick wicks are a little bit longer than before. So that could just mean that there's, a lot of there's still plans of consolidating, right? What we also want to look at here is a volume profile and kind of see roughly where the volume is accumulating. So we got a lot of accumulation here right around support at 272, but also previously, same thing as well, right here at support at 167. So it's interesting how that works, right? The volume is accumulating the most at strong support and or resistance levels. Previous resistance, current support. That's essentially how it's working out to be. So kind of a cool, I wouldn't say phenomenon, it makes perfect sense. That's why support and resistance levels are established, is based on a strong amount of volume either above or below, or keeping the price above or below. But in this case here, this kind of reaffirms the fact that in the last short amount of time, I would say this is maybe a day or two, we've seen the most volume at about 275. That's just below the price action right now, so that could effectively reaffirm the fact that we have a strong support right at about 270. Okay, so that's excellent. We'd like to see that. So let's go back to the 4 hour. Let's go ahead and pick up the Fibonacci, see if there's any more potential for increase on this little trend. Because again, the trend is definitely your friend, right? Right now we're definitely in a bullish trend. And if we just take a quick look at this here again, this is just the most recent price action in the last 4 hours alone. So I'm not doing a very large look here. This is more of a short-term anticipation, because obviously big picture, we've already identified the fact that this could be upwards of about $4 or $5, right? By year end, easy $4 or $5, maybe even month end, right? But for right now, just say hypothetically, based on the last 8 hours of trading, what we could see perhaps in the next, just say 8 to 16 hours of trading or next 24 hours, best case scenario, so if we break this resistance level about 330, we could see about 380 as probably a highest point. Now keep in mind, 2x, or essentially twice the height of where it's at presently, is right around 366. That should be the kind of the max out point, because I think what LRC did that recently, where it hit it hit the Fibonacci 2.272, and then it kind of just retraced back down to consolidate around a 2, and then it came down even lower, but it spent most of the time right there at that 2, which is essentially a 2x from its current place. Not total 2x, but just 2x from its current location. So that's kind of what you're looking at there. And that's the great thing about Fibonacci, right? There's specific time frames that kind of work out very well. So again, long term here, big picture, just note, I would say that we're looking at $5 easy by year end. That's my speculation. And also I would say just within the next week or less, probably even the next few days, we're probably going to see a pump again to break this resistance level somewhere upwards about 381. Okay, now keep in mind, I normally like to recommend that we wait to take entry, but this coin has been consistently surprising the heck out of a lot of people, and I think that we might see a surprise again to the upside. So just bear in mind that it could very well increase again, but just note also that it could very well reverse on you too. Okay, so let's look at a quick understanding of that. If that were to happen, just say we have a reversal here in this little situation. We're looking at definitely right here, right at about 222 as a secondary support, as well as the previous all-time high of about 244. So this is a little channel right here that you could say is a support channel if the price were to retrace and come back down. And obviously we got this resistance zone right here. So again, just kind of trending right down in the middle there. So it's hard to specify it. It's not giving me any indication it's going to go ahead and destroy that resistance level right away, but just based on the way that it works normally, I do think it's more likely to go up than down. Just make sure you honor the support and resistance levels. If the 1 day candlestick does not close, just say above 331, then it would not be considered a support level, right? That's essentially reaffirming itself as a resistance. So if the day closes here and the price is still underneath that point, it's a resistance. And obviously if the price is above 271, that's considered a support, all right? So very important to understand that. So hopefully you found benefit. If you do, like and subscribe, obviously. And if you don't, that's okay too. Not everyone loves this stuff. But if you don't love it and you want to make money from it, feel free to check out my Patreon community. I have a really awesome Signal group, and it's just a really fantastic experience. I cannot speak highly enough, because it's the members that make it that much more worthwhile, right? Because every one of my patrons are super cool. You'll get to know them better. It's a really awesome experience. And we've all developed this really cool bond so far, and it's awesome because we're all making money together, we're all growing our portfolios, and it's a fun experience. So anyways, if you benefit from that, check that out. Again, if not, that's okay too. Thank you so much for joining me here today. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. You take care. Thank you.